Let's make some pizza. Everybody, we're making a Poolish dough. This is a family secret, also in Crazy Pies, my cookbook. The first thing is we need this 00 pizza flour. I'll put this in the description below, but it's super, super key. So we're gonna add 220 grams here, and we're gonna add equal parts water afterwards. Let's see, 220. Take a little bit out. There we go. And now we're going to add purified water as well. As I said, equal part. So we'll get to 440 total. And then our last two and most important steps. With a Poolish, it's a pre-ferment. So we will do this 2 days before we cook. And we are going to add 2.6 grams of yeast. And just to get the pre-ferment started, I recommend a little bit of honey, probably about 1 gram, just a little drizzle. And we'll mix this all up. We're gonna mix this together. It is so critical to have a pre-ferment to get a crunchy and airy pizza. We have mixed this. Now we're gonna put some wrap on top and put it in the fridge overnight for 24 hours. This has been in the fridge for 24 hours. You could also just leave it out at room temperature for 12 hours, but this is exactly the consistency that we're looking for. We are going to add the rest of the flour, water, and salt to this mix. But let's add 280 grams of flour. Now we're gonna add our purified room temperature water to the mix, 125 grams, until we get to 405 total grams here. There we go. And last but not least, another 2.5 grams of yeast. We're gonna mix together the Poolish and the rest of the dough. This can take a little bit of time. We're gonna let this initial mix, we haven't mixed it too long, we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes. All right, so it's been 10 minutes, and now it's time to add in our salt. This autolyze period is very important for getting the yeast going. Salt will inhibit the yeast development, so I kind of wait a second to add it in. And we'll add 10 grams of salt. And now our last step is we want to have a floured surface. Use the same flour that you used before, the 00 King Arthur's pizza flour. It's in the description. But we are going to put this mix, which serves about 3 280 gram pies, kind of like a 12 or 13 inch. You can adjust all these measurements on your own. But we're going to put this down. We're going to need this for just about 5 minutes. And there's a lot of excess flour here, but it will jump right back into the dough. And this kneading is really critical. I think I put down not even a half a cup of flour. You don't want to add too much flour because it's going to change the hydration level of your pizza. And ultimately, because we're using a home oven, we need a really high hydration pizza. So don't be surprised if it sticks a little bit. So let's put this back on here. We grabbed another 1/4 cup of flour because it got too sticky. This is where pizza is a science and an art. And we are doing a 1/4 pull back, tucking the dough back in, pushing. And this is looking really good. So we're gonna need this for 3 or 4 more minutes. It is really looking good here. It has accepted the flour we put down on the bench. After we do this mix, we need to put this directly into a oiled bowl and let it do its first rise for an hour at room temperature. Make sure to closely wrap this. And then once you're ready to cook it the next day, you'll bring it out for just about 3 to 4 hours and it's gonna double in size. You also wanna make sure to section it, which I cover in another video, but you'll want about 260 to 270 gram balls. Hope this helps. If you enjoyed this dough recipe, please subscribe to my channel. My dad and I would love it, and leave us a comment too. And lastly, Crazy Pies, the cookbook is out. Please check that out too.